What's up, guys? And we are back again for this weekly's Market Watch, and we're going to be getting into again some of our news, just looking at our broad spectrum news of our crypto, Bitcoin, seeing what's fueling the markets, and then get into our market analysis to finish off for this week. And I hope you guys had a successful trading week last week. We have seen the markets surging. Dollar has been pushing up. Was expecting a sell-off on dollar, but we can see that in the markets, dollar has skyrocketed from last week, pushing the dollar to all-time highs of this year. So guys, let's just jump back into the news and have a looking at what we've been looking at. Still got that sentiment of inflation and all that. But we are seeing that Bitcoin currently has dropped, okay? And this is due to some of the news I've seen here on Cointelegraph. It says traders look to buy the dip after spot ETF rejection sends Bitcoin price to 62K. So in our last video, we were talking about that at a later stage, the spot ETF, which is now you can trade and investors can be buying into Bitcoin as in you will physically hold pieces of Bitcoin or portions of Bitcoin. And at the moment, the ETF that people are investing in, which is we've seen that skyrocket of Bitcoin and pushing up, is due to the ETF that was passed, okay, but it isn't the spot ETF. So we can see this happen now this week, 12th of November, this article, the SEC's rejection of an ex-spot Bitcoin ETF application may have influenced the drop that Bitcoin has now gone from all-time highs to 62,000, and it says that most people are saying that this is a better buying opportunity. We're not too sure, okay? Again, it says there bears swooped in to seize the upper hand after the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, rejected the Van Hunk's spot Bitcoin ETF. So it says that many investors had hoped that the passage of the spot BTC ETF would send Bitcoin to the record highs of $100,000. Now, I've been seeing that a lot. Everybody's been talking about it. We're just going to be going up. We're going to record highs. I personally don't think that is going to happen as of yet. Yes, we've had the positive news of the ETF, which has seen Bitcoin push up, but I don't see that, and especially after this now, that one of the spot ETFs has been rejected, okay? So what we could see from this news is that there could be a bigger pullback. There's some people are saying here that they could see a pullback to 52 or 50 for Bitcoin. So then they're saying, well, maybe that's a better buying opportunity and rather wait for that. So just that we can see that the spot ETF was rejected. I personally don't feel that we're going to be seeing 100K, let's say from now towards the end of the year. And I personally think that we're possibly going to get the bears, as in start trending more down to a bearish market coming towards the end of the year. But let's see, time will tell. And that again follows into the reasoning is because why has Bitcoin been pushing up? Because we're touching on that inflation, US inflation, and this is quite scary to see this, that Bitcoin hit yet another all-time high on Wednesday last week as October's inflation figures in the USA, which we've been speaking about, reached an annual rate of 6.3%, and it's the highest level in 30 years. So guys, this is something that's big. It's a bubble. I don't think it's going to get any better anytime soon. And that's obviously why people have been investing. Investors are trying to, invest more into this crypto. They're investing more into gold. And they've actually seen people come out of gold and going into crypto, which I have touched on previously. So it says that Bitcoin comes, US Labor Department released new figures that show that the consumer price index of the country is coming at the highest level since 1990. But the so-called core price index, which excludes food and energy prices, came in at 4.6 compared to a year earlier, which was 4%. So you can see those are going up. And what is happening is that things are getting more and more expensive, okay? Inflation was broad-based with cars, energy, furniture, rent, and healthcare all contributing to that higher figure. So everything is getting more expensive, but there is not enough jobs, there's not enough people to fill that, and for the economy to grow. And this high inflation is causing things to start dropping. So things are getting more expensive, but there's not enough, if you could say, jobs and funds and this economy to support this inflation. So they says, yeah, the bigger picture is we're likely to see inflation climb higher. Things are going to get worse before they get better, one of the economists said. So very scary to see that, and generally everything is backed off the US dollar, and that will now filter to the rest of the world, and especially countries like where I'm from in South Africa, third world countries. It's even worse, okay? We have the crime, we have no jobs, and our economy is very, very low. You have a low income for higher value of living here in South Africa. So that's what we're going to be seeing and filter across the world, and this inflation is definitely going to hit us hard. And that was on cryptonews.com, another news article on cryptonews.com. It says here, and just to show you the difference, paper money hits all-time low against Bitcoin and other hard assets. So if we scroll down here, it shows a graph which is quite scary to see, and this is between paper money and these hard assets. And if we have a look here, we have Bitcoin on the right, oil, oats, lumber, copper, sugar, and then the S&P 500, and then gold. And if we see here, the one that is the lowest and dropped the lowest is Bitcoin. So that's showing you the value of paper money to Bitcoin, how Bitcoin is obviously so much higher. And although prices of hard-earned assets have been rising, traditional investors who had hoped that their gold holdings would save them, because normally people, when the economy is down, they invest into gold. It said that if their gold holdings would save them in the face of inflation, have had a rather disappointing year. So it's quite scary to see that how things have sort of changed. And it says that the crypto hedge fund CEO went on to say that Bitcoin so far appears to be the one among the major assets that has benefited from the most debased of paper money. So you can see that was that graph showing you that paper money is starting to get, the value is going to be nothing eventually, and hence people are trying to then get onto this crypto bandwagon, as I could say. And that's what I just touched on here on Bitcoin.com. It says a growing number of major banks are getting involved in crypto, including Australia's Commonwealth Bank, Thailand's Siam Commercial Bank, US Bank, and Singapore DBS. Major investment banks have also begun offering crypto investments to their clients, including JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, and Goldman Sachs, and also our payment regimes. In addition, giants like Visa, MasterCard, and PayPal all have several crypto projects going on. So what this is just to show us is that because we have this bad inflation of the economy, investors are not even investing in gold anymore, they're investing in other assets like cryptocurrency. Things have had to speed up very, very quickly. And while people now are trying to adapt this cryptocurrency, and it's good to see, but I don't think we are there yet where everything's going to be running smoothly, because we still have the regulatories. People are trying to regulate cryptocurrency, and that's still going to be a while till we see everything being adopted. So it is nice to see that this is happening, but how long is it going to take? We are not sure. But there's one thing that is happening very, very quickly, and that is what I pointed on last week, is that we have Facebook has now changed to, well, there is still Facebook, but the company is now changed to Meta, okay? And in our last post, I mentioned that this Meta and Mark Zuckerberg is trying to, they put $10 billion they're investing into this, and it also includes blockchain technology. And what is happening here is that he says that companies, the metaverse is company and the internet as we know it will never be the same. The global economy might be forever changed, okay? Two companies, both large and small, are racing to develop new virtual universe where individuals can play, socialize, and work together, all right? So we know that VR in the digital world, people are playing games already on there, and there's, you know, different applications that we can use now on social media and doing team viewings. People are working from home more. So you can imagine now we'll be able to be in a universe whereby we can pay, okay, through different tokens, which we are seeing already. People are investing in tokens and coins and NFTs and artwork and paintings as a crypto or on a blockchain. And we will be able to now be in this metaverse where you can now work, you can play, you can socialize, and it doesn't even have to be in real life. It's going to be in this digital world where we'll be able to be our own avatar, and I did touch on that in our last video, but it's just amazing to see that what is going to be happening, and why I'm touching on this is that the metaverse should present significant opportunities for investors, okay? And here are 3 stocks which would be good to follow. And the first one, Nvidia, which is in the NASDAQ, ranks of one of the best ways to invest in several key technology trends, and it's basically a top artificial intelligence stock, okay? So with gaming, you know, 3D simulations, and then obviously Meta, which is now what Mark Zuckerberg has started. And he says here is that they've invested $10 billion this year. Meta is already a leader in virtual reality with its Oculus devices, and that's those VR Oculus devices where you'll be able to then put it on, we'll be able to socialize with people, we'll be able to pay with different cryptocurrencies, blockchain, we'll be able to pay people in tokens, obviously meetings, social, gaming, everything will be in one, which we don't know how long it's going to take to get there, but we can see the guys already investing it. So another one, Unity Software, which is on the New York Stock Exchange, which they're also investing. It's a leading platform to developing interactive 3D content. So guys, just something to follow as well. It's good to see that we can look at the stock as well. Nvidia, follow it, because it's only going to get, you know, bigger and bigger going into what we are seeing now with the NASDAQ. We're seeing with Meta as well, that they're investing this money. So for our, you know, people now that are getting into the cryptocurrency, and that we're in a very good opportunity for investing, okay, to start getting onto board with tokens, because the adoption is starting now. Yes, there's going to be these rules and regulations that's going to be involved, but that is going to take a bit of time to get through, and especially like we are seeing now with the spot BTF. It has been rejected, hence we've seen a drop, but that most likely will go ahead, and that could be starting the adoption and getting into the real phase of investing and seeing the real bull run. So we're going to get into our market analysis and have a look at where charts are sitting currently. So guys, let's just have a look at our normal Bitcoin, okay? And let's have a look. So as we saw there, that Bitcoin we reached, okay, our highs. We reached our all-time highs, and from our last week's video, we can see our all-time highs over here, all right, that's as our all-time high, okay, and we have reached and pushed to the level of 69,000. Now, what I'm seeing, and something that, like I said, where we could see the market start to push down now, especially after this news. If you look at, we're on the weekly now, guys. The weekly has closed for last week. We're going to be starting the new week. So if you have a look at all-time high, which is this line here currently, we can see that we've had 1 week that is pushed up, rejected, and closed lower. Okay, the next week we didn't really move, we pushed up, pushed down, and then we've had the week as well that pushed lower, and then last week we've had that big push, rejection news, and we have closed below that level. We've closed below an all-time high. So that was our all-time high. We have closed below it. So for me, that's showing that we've had that rejection. Okay, we never closed up. Yes, on the daily time frame, it shows that we have pushed up higher, but we have pushed up higher and closed lower. So for me, we could see that rejection come into play now. We could see this trend line break. Okay, we've had that rejection of the highs around this level, and what we could see is price push up again, possibly reject this trend line, re-enter, and then come back to these lows. Now, people are saying, and on that news article we saw, that there is a potential, all right, that price could dip to these lows of around 53, 56 and start to then push up and then carry on seeing that bull run. I don't know, that could happen, but for now I see that this rejection and this all-time high, as we've closed below, we could start seeing this bearish trend that could push at least to our level of around 60 first, and then coming to 56 and possibly even lower. Okay, possibly even lower. We need to as well come and retest these highs over here that we broke out. So that's what we could see for the coming weeks. I don't think we're going to carry on seeing the bull run. I think we could have that pullback that is necessary. So if that's going to happen on BTC, we could start seeing other altcoins and Ethereum, which we're going to look at now. And Ethereum, guys, whoever doesn't know, it is the second largest cryptocurrency at the moment. So let's have a look. You can see we have broken all-time highs, okay, as well. Same thing. And I said in my last video, we were definitely going to come or possibly hit that 5,000 mark. We have come close, but looking at the weekly time frame, we've had that rejection. Yes, we've closed above it. So what we could see is that possible push into our 54 region and then hit 5,000, or we could have the rejection and follow that Bitcoin suit and break this trend line that we have currently, which is sitting over here. Let's move this out of the way. Currently see that trend line break and come lower. So first up for me, I see with Ethereum is 44,000. If we break that, we're definitely going to be going lower. Are we going to see that pull, just that small retracement to 44 and then hit to 5,000? We'll have to follow. But currently now we've had that rejection, 4-hour time frame as well. We've had that rejection, we've closed lower, and showing us that the trend now for intermediate trend is going downwards. So are we going to have that breakup out? For me though, I see us at least going back to 44,000, 4,400 for Ethereum. So right now, I wouldn't buy, I would wait for us to dip. Do we have a dip to 4,400? If we do, potential little buying opportunity there. Bitcoin as well, I would hold off for BTC. We might, again, as I said, have that pushback up to around a 68, 67, and then seeing price dip to our 58, 57 region first, okay? Yeah, around about 58. So for me, if you're going to be buying BTC, I don't think it's the right time. We most likely will be able to see a pullback, and especially on this news. It's not that positive news, and that's what they're saying. Investors were relying. If that spot ETF was approved, then we could see probably the shoot and that push back up for BTC. But currently, right now, I'm seeing a short-term dip and a pullback on BTC and Ethereum. XRP, most likely going to follow. It has been very slow compared to the two of them. We've had that pullback. Last videos that I have been speaking about, I said Ethereum is definitely going to be coming back up to this area, 1.30. We have hit that mark, and I can see now we've had that rejection. So what are we going to do? Are we going to have that pull back down to our $1 mark? Right now, that could happen, all right? If I just take my fib from this high, right, to this low over here, you can see we're still in a good sell range. And if BTC has that pullback, if Ethereum has that pullback, we're most likely definitely going to see XRP see that pullback. And we could easily come back to around 0.70 cents for XRP. But let's see. Again, I wouldn't jump into XRP. We're at the highs. We've rejected this region. We're still in a good sell zone. So for me, don't jump into XRP right now. I did mention around these areas, you could possibly look for intermediate buys. And we have now rejected my targets, which I was set up for XRP. So for me, hold off on XRP. I'm seeing now, especially with this news that's come out, we could start seeing a bit of a pullback and retracement on our major cryptocurrencies. Some altcoins that I did mention to you guys to follow and that I'm following. ZIL USD was one of them. I have jumped into this one. We are at a good buying area now. However, this could be following some of the major cryptocurrencies. We haven't broken this trend here. Okay, we've had both a rejection once, twice, 3 times. So again, we could see a bit of a pullback and a deeper retracement on this pair. Break this area, pull back, and even come possibly lower. So for me, for now, I think just hold off. If you are in this this altcoin from the lows, then possibly look to take some profit. All right. So for now, I'm actually going to hold off a little bit on this pair. Just watch it a little bit closely. It seems like we might be having that retracement, the fake out. Same with cake, which I said we were going to look at. We had that rejection. We needed to break this 2.40. And we didn't. We rejected, came back down to the low. So what are we going to do? Are we going to break out? We haven't broken out of this trend line yet. So for me, also, I'm going to stay on my toes for this one and just watch it closely. But we are at good areas. If we stay above this line, we could then see price break out through this trend and make its way back up to our 27 region. So that was one. Then there was ZIL as well, which was another one, ZIL USD. And guys, if you're not too sure what these altcoins are, you can jump over to coingecko.com, all right, and you can read up, you can see, look at an altcoin, you can see how much it's done over the past 7 days, 24 hours, 1 hour, what it's done over the year, okay? And you can read up on it, click on it, it gives you explanation. Which is very, very nice, coingecko.com. So some altcoins, they will look like they're ready to explosion. Yes, the popular ones like ADA, Cardona, they have had their big push up, which we explained in the last videos. We've had that big push to the upside, but now we're starting to see that retracement. We're starting to see the fake outs to the upside and then the pullbacks. Okay, there was another one, Sol USD was a good one as well. Still looking very bullish, and I think on this one, guys, I mentioned that we've had the rejection to this area, we've had that pullback, and this possibly we could see a bit of a bullish push to the upside. I need to watch though, however, this level. Okay, if we reject this level again, we could then see price coming back to these regions. But very good bullish structure on our Sol. And possibly another buying opportunity around these levels. Okay, we are high, so if you want to you want to be buying for short term. You want to buy in short term. If you look at the 4-hour time frame, you want to be buying short term back up to these highs. Okay, only once we break these highs, retest it, then we can start looking for longs. But for me, it looks like we're getting a bit of a pullback and could see 210 on the cards for Sol. So for me, just looking at some of the markets, they've had that big push to the upside. We could be then having the retracement and seeing this on a lot of the altcoins. Luno has done very, very well as well. If we look at the higher time frame, daily, okay, we've had the trend. We could be having these pullbacks. We could be needing these pullbacks and start coming from the highs and seeing the lows being met. So for me, I'm going to hold off a little bit on these altcoins. Watch closely. I would like to follow up and see our next week video. What is going to be happening with these coins? Where are they? Are we going to see further retracements to the downside? And then we can maybe make a better decision from there. So guys, just going on to our last segment, which is our ILUS coin. And we've been following this coin for a few weeks. Very, very exciting coin. And if you guys have a look at poocoin.app, you can look at the price. We've actually exploded to the upside. A lot of volume has come into the coin. And just to have a look at some analysis, and where could we see price be going with this coin for our coming weeks? We have struggled to surpass 50 cents, okay, on this coin. We've had a rejection, okay, we've broken out of this area, which I said we could have that pullback to 35 cents. If that is the case, it is a very good buying opportunity. We've now bottomed out at around 0.2, and we've now had the change from our downward trend to start shifting to the upside. So for me, we need to break these areas. Do we retest our 35 and then start seeing price climb higher, okay, back up and break our 0.5 mark? That's what we need to see. So guys, if you have been following this coin with me from the beginning, then hold off a little bit for now. Yes, buy in now, but if we have a dip, just take that as just a better price to get in, all right? Buy more. It's discounted price. It's natural for a pullback before we have a push. It's natural for price to do that. So if we have the pullback to these zones, we could see us consolidate a bit again, and then hopefully we can break that 0.5 mark where we have been rejecting now for a few hours. Okay, so for now, guys, follow this coin, ILUS coin. If you jump over to the Twitter page, if you guys follow it on Twitter, ILUS coin at ILUS_coin, and you can see there's various ways of how to purchase it, and also it's backed by ILUS International and Toto Capital Invests, okay, and it's basically, you can, if you stake ILUS coin, you can earn 15% APY. So go over to Twitter, ILUS coin, ILUS_coin, have a follow. There's a lot of updates, a lot of videos, how to purchase, how to buy, simple steps and videos that you guys can follow, and have a look at the videos that show you what is actually behind the product, behind ILUS International. You're actually investing in a asset, you're investing in life-saving equipment, okay, that is helping people around the world. So it's not just a, just a normal token that has popped up. It is something that you are investing in, and it is backed, okay, by an international company. So go have a follow. You can even go to iluscoin.com, all right, and it's their website, and you can have a look at the details behind it, the white paper, and just get a little more feel about the companies. So guys, that is it for this week. So again, just touching on our news, we have that inflation. Okay, we can see that it's the worst inflation in 30 years, okay, and why people have now more investing into crypto, looking into crypto. Banks, Visa card, all these payment portals are adapting crypto, and even paper money is becoming worthless, all right? While things are getting more expensive, paper money is getting less, the economy, the inflation is getting higher, there's not enough people to fit jobs. There's not enough jobs. People aren't paying enough money. So things are just, it's getting, I think it's going to get worse before we see anything better. But what can we do? Keep our costs low, start investing in the future, and learn how to, what can I invest $50, $100 a month, and start going there bit by bit. And start investing into small companies like ILUS Coin, ILUS International, backing, getting involved with real companies that are, trying to help for the future and a better future. That is. So guys, catch you next week on our Marketwatch, and I hope you guys have a good trading week, and I'll catch you then.